Hi, this is Cindy Coutts for the Papercraft Crew Midweek Inspiration. And I saw this card online by Susan Itell, and I'll go ahead and put a link in the blog to her blog post for this card. This is where I grabbed my sketch, and it's basically her idea. I just threw mine into it on top of it like we all do when we case somebody, which means copy and share everything, not copy and steal, but copy and share. I have gone ahead and made several of these thank you cards, and they're great gifts to friends after Christmas as well. Don't throw out your designer series paper, and don't toss your stamps either to the garage. There's a lot of images in the holiday catalog that can be used year-round. So I want you to take one more look through that catalog and see what you can continue to use after January 4th when it expires and the new Spring Occasion catalog comes into effect until June, when the new 2016-2017 main idea book comes along. I'm trying to get all this out right. Anyhow, but just take a look and see what you have. This is just a great thank you card to send out for all those gifts that you got, and I've made a couple different versions here, and then we're going to do one ourselves because we have some fabulous designer series paper that was in the Christmas catalog that I didn't get a chance to use all of it, like this right here. And so I'm just going to tell you how I made these, and we'll do one real fast ourselves. I don't have the designer series paper memorized, but just go through your catalog and you'll see it. With this one here, I went ahead and stamped my sentiment with this thing. It's just called Watercolor Thank You. In what is this? Hello Honey. Because I wanted to pull in the Hello Honey from these little stamens inside of the poinsettias, and I use Pear Pizzazz for the background just to pick up on this color right here, because that's also in this designer series paper. And as you can see, I do have some scoring detail real close in your face, some scoring detail in here, and you can do it both ways, to where your scores are indented or where they're raised, and I'll show you a card. This next one where they are raised right there. So you have your choice. And how I cut the paper was, since this is a woodblock stamp, where you can put it right in the center without a stamp-a-majig. So with this one here, go ahead and use the heavier base weight white cardstock when you do these cards. And then for the top panel here, just go ahead and use a regular lightweight. For this one, I use this beautiful brushed gold color to pick up on the gold in these ornaments, but it's not really gold, it's honey Dijon. But to me, they look gold, and it works really well. And this is Mossy Meadow. I kind of wish I'd used Pacific Point just to really make that pop out against the gold a little bit more, but I'm okay with that. I wanted to grab colors out of here that you couldn't see, but you can see a lot of that Pacific Point, so I'm just going to go ahead and go along with this. If you want to go a little bit more on the elegant side, this Winter Wonderland designer series paper is great. I have no scored detail here, but what I did do is use gold embossing powder. And anytime I do heat embossing, I go ahead and use the heavier based white cardstock. This top panel here is on foam tape on all the cards, so you do have a little bit dimension. They're very clean, they're very simple. I have no sequins, I have no ribbon, I have nothing on it. You just do what you got to do, sign your name, pop it in the mail, one stamp, and then you're all done. So for this card, what I want to do first is show you how I did the score detail, because we're going to do our sentiment in real red, and that's going to need some time to dry. So I want to show you my panels real quick. Again, this is the heavy based weight cardstock, and I just grabbed a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I cut it at I turned it this way, cut it 5 1/2, scored it 4 1/4, and then went ahead and folded it. So it's a landscape tent. Our designer series paper is cut down to 5 3/8 by 4 1/4. Then for our pear pizzazz, this is 3 3/4 by 3 inches. And then for our Whisper White cardstock, this is 3 5/8 by 2 7/8. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to go ahead and grab our giant scoreboard here, which I need to clean and get that scored detail in. And it doesn't really matter which side you do it in, because you can pick at the last minute what you want to do. But like I said, I want to do this first just so I can get the stamp so the red to dry. So as you can see right here, and I'm going to zoom in super, super close and move that down. I've got this score line that lines up perfectly with the outside. I'm going to go one in, and this is going to be right at 3 1/2. And I'm using the small end. Then I'm going to go to the very next score line, and I'm going to turn it around all the way. It's easier for me to do it this way than move over that way and do it like that. So I'm going to do that again for both of them. And then same thing with this card. I'm sorry, with this side of the panel. So we have 1/8 of an inch, even score lines all the way around. And that's how easy it is. This is something that you can do in front of the TV. So I'm going to take a look at this just to see which side I think looks better. And I like the raised score side. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. You're going to get a headshot because I need to be over this to see a little bit, but I'll try and describe it to you. So again, we're going to go ahead and use our real red ink pad. And I have this inked up just perfectly. Your block here is going to fit inside our score lines, top and bottom. And when you're in my position, it's really easy to see, but on camera, it's really hard. You just need to center it in between the side score lines. But for top and bottom, the edge of your stamp is going to go right, not stamp, a block is going to go right just a little bit above that top score line right there. So I have it lined up, and then I'm just going to look on both sides, and hopefully this will turn out. And just give that a really good press. And there we go. It's perfectly centered. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and set this aside, because if you look really close, you can see that the ink is still wet. If you want to do some clear embossing, now's the time to dump your powder on and get that little raised effect, which is really not a bad idea at all. So, you know what, let's just kind of step it up a little bit and get this over with. I didn't use my embossing buddy on this. I think that we're going to be okay. Since I wasn't prepared, I have to pull everything out. So I'm just going to tap that off. And Bella has a play date with a little cheerleader who's here right now, so if you hear some pretty aggressive growling and playing in the background, that is them. I need a play date. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this heat embossed real quick. And there you go. Real shiny, real pretty. I like the raised look of it. 9 times out of 10, I really clear emboss my sentiments anyway, or most everything, just because I do like the raised look, and it also brightens up the ink a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get this panel adhered on top of our white cardstock. One thing I noticed too with the snail, and I wish I had a black piece of paper near me. I do, I got one in the garbage. I'm going to set that aside. You know when you go like that really quick, that's how your adhesive comes out. And a lot of it gets wasted, you know, if you just go like that. Look, what I have noticed recently after all these years of stamping is that if you just slow down a little bit and hold your snail up right more like that, you get a nice good line and you're not wasting your adhesive. So that's my trick for today, which will also help your cards stay down more secure and they will last longer too. I don't like my cards falling apart. I also made another video yesterday I just haven't put up yet about thank you cards too, so I may do that later on today. Also, if you look at these here, be careful how you cut, because you don't want your bulbs going this way like that. You want them going straight. Same with this here, and even with these poinsettias right there, just watch how you cut your cardstock. This here, I think these hexagons look much better this way, but again, that's a personal choice. So I'm just going to get that lined up right there. I think I just zoom out just a little bit. Now, since I did emboss this, I'm going to put more adhesive on this because I want it to lay down straight. Not straight, flat is the word I'm looking for. And you could always use a fast fuse or even the red line tape if you would like. But the whole idea here is mass production and quick and easy thank you cards. So here I have my 3 3/4 by 3 Para Pizzazz panel, and I'm just going to get this centered on top. Now, depending on the size of what I'm putting on my card, I much prefer to use foam tape as opposed to Stampin' Dimensionals, or else I would have about 300 on the back of this. Because I don't like saggy cards. I don't like saggy anything at my age. Gravity is not my friend, but it's going to be my friend when it comes to my cards at least. So again, use your designer series paper kind of as a guide to lay down your panel. I have a whole line up here at the hexagons down here, and then over here on the sides I'm going to end up going halfway. And put it down. We're done. There we go. Quick, easy, simple card, short video, I hope. Under 10 minutes, which would be really cool. I'm not going to do the inside. Decorate it up as you want. Write your thank you notes. Have your kids sign it because they write really, really big. I remember having my kids do that. So thank you for joining us for this week's mid-inspiration for the Papercraft crew. We hope that you join along or participate in our challenge this week. We're taking next week off. This is a 2-week-long challenge, and so I said in the last video you won't see me until after the new year, but now I really mean it this time. So again, here are all 4 of the cards. I'll take a picture of them. So you'll be able to see them. And again, super easy to mass produce, get out, use of that holiday cardstock, and again, go through that catalog. Thank you for joining us today. This has been Cindy Coutts for the Paper Craft Crew, and I will see you in a couple weeks. God bless and have a great day.